Good morning, everyone. Good to be here. Hopefully, I'm here to introduce something slightly unique, something slightly different to everybody here today. I think product and services are the paradox of our life. People say product and service are completely opposites of each other. And here I am saying we're going to productize services. So hopefully I can present a new take to what services should look like, and would love to get feedback and have those discussions after the session as well. But before we get started, a quick background on me, just a little bit here. I started my professional career in 2017 by building a product called Centilytics. It's today among the top 5 CMPs in the world as per any analyst report, and it's something which taught me how building businesses and products is all about. In that journey, I worked with a lot of customers that were running on the cloud, and they were struggling to manage it in some form or the other. That's where the idea of Zarthi got incepted. So I said, okay, it's time to think of a second child, and that's where Zarthi kind of came about. So that's a little bit about me, but we'll focus on the problem statement we're here to solve. Now, all of us here know that we need work done, and no matter how much AI, how much automation, how many products we buy, the button click is done by some human being, and that to me is the definition of a service. It doesn't matter how simple or how complex that problem is, but the fact that some human being, a living, breathing soul is doing it, let's think of that as a service. Today, if I was to do that service, my first option would be to hire in-house. Now, how many people can I potentially hire, and for how many skills can I potentially hire? In today's world of hyper-specialization, Gen AI, cloud, IoT, 5G, do I need a full-time resource of every type? Can I even predict how many resources of each type do I really need? So this ends up being two things. Either I'm overstaffed and overpaying for people I can't fully utilize, or I'm forced to make my average generalist guy learn something and yaar ye karke de de. Just figure it out. And obviously, it's not their expertise, so we end up with a suboptimal deployment, architecture, application, whatever it is that we requested that person to help us deliver. The second option becomes staff augmentation, right? You will go to some company and say, boss, can you find me 5 cloud engineers? Can you find me 3 React developers, right? I want to build a React application. Now here, fundamentally, the person is my product. I genuinely don't care how good they are. As a company, I'm not invested in their growth. As long as, I'm getting my margins in between that deal, a company doing staff augmentation is usually happy. More importantly, the cost of resources. I think everybody here is senior enough to know that it doesn't go up by 5%, but your contracts go up by 5%. So how do you bridge that gap? Again, fundamentally, I think there's a flaw there. And lastly, you will kind of go and say, okay, I'll deliver it like a professional service or a managed service. So you'll look out for a partner who says, okay, I'll give it to you in this format. There, either they will charge T&M. Time and material incentivizes me as a service provider to take longer. Again, sounds just wrong, right? I want it tomorrow, not 5 days from now. I might do a project cost, which means I'm going to spend 2 months scoping it with you. And the minute you decide, no, I need this button here and not here, I'm going to say, nahi sir, scope change hai, CR raise karo. Right? So this fundamentally, again, kills the iterative nature of today's world. So these were the problems I went out to address, right? I mean, all this sounds amazing. I know everybody here is like, baat to theek hai, but iska solution kya hai? And that's where the idea came in, that when we buy products, we typically start by looking at it at a fixed price point. We know what are we paying for, how is it charged, and what is the consumption model. Now, we are an industry, IT, cloud, technology, AI, that has revolutionized every space. Today, we Uber around, right? We don't hail cabs. Today, we get food delivered in 10 minutes. We don't go ahead and call the restaurant, ke yaar delivery karte ho ya nahi karte ho. Today, we order on Amazon sitting right here, knowing ke aaj shaam tak, before I reach home, my packet would be there. So this is the industry that made all that happen. But our industry has been the same way, defragmented for more than 20 years. So this automatically created a need to think of something outside the box, and that's where Zarthi was born. We wanted to become the Zarthi to any business, a place where you can come in and actually get stuff done without worrying about what are the interests of the partner. Is he aligned with me? Is he somebody who's invested in my growth, my success? And that fundamentally required the business models to change. So, what is Zarthi? Well, Zarthi is supposed to be your one cloud, one business partner, and it is basically broken down into, for the sake of this conversation, 3 main pillars, right? The first pillar is what we call delivery. We went ahead and looked at how we are buying today as consumers, right? Although it's a B2B business, but at the end of the day, there's still somebody in this room who's making that decision. And we are used to the idea of an urban clap. We are used to the idea of a Zomato. So we built the Zomato for services. Today, if you want anything done on your cloud virtual machine, we can deliver it in 95 rupees. Right, that is probably cheaper than the cost of coffee that we had in the coffee shops in the morning, right? So at the end of the day, how are we able to do this? We went ahead and built an exhaustive catalog of everything that is needed to build technology today. Look at infrastructure, compute, storage, network, containers, right? Look at SRE, your FinOps, security, reliability, performance. Look at DevOps, your CI/CD, your patching, your release management. If you look at application, web application, enterprise application, mobile application. So we went ahead and broke down every single possible use case into an exhaustive catalog that made it very easy for the customer to work in an iterative fashion. Today, we will not spend 6 months scoping out the project with you. You come in, the very next thing that needs to be done is all we need to price, charge, and move on. If you don't like the work, you take the output of that work and take it to in-house or to another partner. Maybe you came to us because you didn't have that resource. Maybe you have application developers internally. Maybe you just needed infra to be handled. Again, this business model allows you to use us like an auto-scaling engine to your business. Right? So that was fundamentally something that we saw customers love. Concierge, right? Now, how do you really work with us? In today's enterprise world, it's all about experience. We wanted to make sure the customer doesn't have to spend 5 hours with the sales negotiating what is it that I'm going to be paying for it. So we created a concept of a concierge where we basically blurred the lines between support and projects. How do we know what is a ticket and what is a project? I think I have always struggled on that borderline. So we removed that. We say you tell us your problem, full stop. That problem could be my VM needs to be restarted, or that problem could be I need to digitize my entire business. Doesn't matter. Our concierge will then start putting together the right set of people, the right set skills, personalities together who can actually get to the solution to your problem. And this is something which allows us to, again, be very, very iterative. No matter how long that problem takes to solve, our job is to find a solution to your problem. Now, most problems today are built on top of technology. So whatever solution we try to design, we will most likely have to do some form of enterprise contracting. Today, most customers don't even know what is their negotiating power with the likes of AWS, Azures, GCPs, Palo Altos, Barracudas, right? You don't even know that even if you're a small single paying account, there is negotiation that one can do. And that's what brokerage is all about. Because to be able to deliver, we need to buy. That buying power coming through a central platform allows us to give much better value adds to the customer. Today, once again, traditionally speaking, this is done through a distribution or a partner route where your partners incentivize to increase their margins in the deal. We are incentivized to decrease your costs. Our business model fixes our take rate from you. Once we decide that, okay, I'm going to pay you guys 3% of the overall deal, now go negotiate on my behalf, it is my job to go and get you the best deal because my prices with you are fixed. It completely eliminates an entire party from that negotiation. It allows us to go and get better volume discounts because we are buying at volume across all these providers. So if I was to put these 3 things together, you'll very quickly see we are here to digitize services. We are doing it with an interface which is a concierge to you. They are there to solve your problem, represent your interests, and we are helping you build and buy the technology directly from the OEM, cutting out all the middlemen in the process. If this done right should help us accelerate the digitization journey and do this at a pace that the business needs. That is Zarthi. I'm going to skip programs for the context, but obviously as the conversations with us as a partner increases, it automatically needs some form of an enterprise contract, some form of a deal construct. So that's what programs are all about. So pretty much that's what we are here to talk about, guys. Very, very excited about this idea. Just to quickly summarize, in the last 1 year, so I joked about this with a lot of my friends. When I built Centilytics, I built the product and I went to the market looking for customers. Thankfully, with Zarthi, I did it the other way around. So in the last 1 year, we've brought in more than 120 customers. We've grown the business from nothing to a multi-crore business today, and we're a 250 people core tech engineering team that is digitizing this world on behalf of businesses. So that's our journey. Very, very happy and excited to be here. Thank you for being such a patient audience. I wanted to leave some time for questions, so we have that here. Very, very happy to answer any questions that anybody here has. Otherwise, that's my time. Fantastic. Thank you so much.